I'm Grant, this is Stagcrafted, and today I'm going to turn this big sheet of foam into a bunch of spooky gravestones. Alright, let's go. Here's what we're going to need. Utility knife. This will make it easy to cut the foam. A file or rasp to do some shaping and to make it look all gnarly. If you want to get some easy carving done, I recommend a heat knife. There's 3 ingredients to make the monster mud. One is either watertight or dry lock. This is a large one, you only need 1 gallon. 1 gallon of gray paint, I chose flagstone. 1 small container of joint compound. After monster mudding, you can decorate with black paint, some paintbrushes, and we'll use some black spray paint to do some weathering. To stick them into the ground, we're going to do PVC and rebar. And to make the PVC easy to go inside the gravestones, I bought this giant drill. It's a drill bit. It's a bit. All right, let's go. I start by using the utility knife to break down the insulation foam into 24-inch by 16-inch rectangles. Then I just draw out some gravestone shapes with a black magic marker, and I cut them down on the bandsaw. If you don't have a bandsaw, you can use a knife, or a jigsaw, or whatever works. And just like that, boom, we've got a couple gravestones. Then it's time to get creative and use your marker to draw out any spooky Halloween pun names that you can think of. Alright, try it out. This new heat knife on foam. Maybe I should have a mask on. Using the heat knife is a little tricky, but you get the hang of it pretty quick, and it makes quick work of the foam. But like I said, definitely wear a mask. How good does that look? Then I use that giant drill bit that I showed at the beginning of the video. Just drilling a couple holes in the bottom. These will be filled in later with some PVC pipe, which allow us to use rebar to stake these into the ground. At least the one out the back. We can mud that up. I don't know what I'm doing. Then there's a whole bunch of drilling that takes place. Since we made our gravestones 24 by 16, that means our 8 foot by 4 foot sheet got us 12 gravestones. Then it's time to get busy with our metal file. Now this is used to just shape the stones, round off the edges, and basically just make them look gnarly. The file works also pretty well to take out some chunks to make the gravestones look all cracked. And with that, we've got 1 done and 11 more to go. After doing my fair share of art and carving, I decided it was time to call in a little backup. You've chosen your gravestone. What are you drawing?
Here lies you.
Come on. What are you drawing your O?
Making it an eye.
Oh.
Like an eyeball.
If you want to really make it an eyeball, you could do this.
That one just looks straight up from creepy town.
You take this guy, and just kind of like that. Just beat the crap out of it. And don't be scared. Just gonna really jack it up. Jack that thing up. Alright.
I'm gonna make it like it. I'm gonna make like a wolf bited it or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. However you want to do it, man. Rough it up. I put some gouges in mine over here, so you'll be fine. gonna make up some monster mud. So we're gonna use some of this mildew-proof paint mixed with regular gray paint and joint compound.
Boom!
Boom! Let's go. Don't be shy. Just get a bunch on your brush, glob it on there, and yep, like that. Now go to town. Here, watch this. Your brush is a little too angled like this. I would go more flat. Just get in the letters like this. See that? And use the edges. Get it in there. Get it in there. Yeah. You got this. Let's do it. The monster mud process does get pretty messy, so I would recommend having a tarp laid down on your workspace. And I would also recommend doing at least 2 coats on this, just for full coverage, and in case you want to leave them out in the rain. Once the monster mud was dry, I decided to fill in all of our engraved lines with black paint. You don't have to do this step, I just thought it would help the lettering show off a lot better in the night and when we have things all lit up. And once again, I brought the little helpers back to finish off the paint job. The good thing about these things is you can't really screw this up. Even if you miss paint or paint outside the lines, it just kinds of help add to the spooky aesthetic. To attach the PVC, I first just shoved a PVC pipe into my pre-drilled hole, drew a mark, and then pulled it out and went and cut it on the miter saw. Just because it's PVC and it's round, for safety's sake, I ended up clamping the PVC down just so it wouldn't spin when the miter saw made its cut. It takes a little bit longer, but, you know, safety first. Then to adhere the PVC, I just used a little bit of hot glue, shoved the PVC in place, and then used a little bit of extra hot glue on the ends after things were in place and to fill in the gaps and whatnot. It was finally time for weathering, so to give myself an easy way to paint both sides, I hammered in some rebar into the ground to set up one gravestone in the yard. Then I used some black spray paint to spray it up and make it weathered. The key here is to start as far away as possible and do light strokes. Try to stay about 2 feet away, and if you're trying this on a windy day like me, you might have to come a little bit closer. But again, trial and error here. You're probably going to mess up, make a few spots that are a little darker than you'd hoped, but it's a gravestone. It's spooky Halloween stuff. If it's messed up a little bit, that's kind of how it's supposed to look, right? And with one out of the way, I just repeat that whole process 11 more times. I needed to cut more rebar, so I used an angle grinder to cut down a bunch of about 12-inch sections. And after all that, it's finally time to do some decorating in the yard. So I laid everything out where I thought it would look good, and then you just come along and start hammering rebar into the ground. Just hammer in one stick into the ground, take your gravestone, line it up, grab your second piece of rebar, line it up where the other PVC hole is, and hammer in place. And if you've done this right, your gravestone should fit right over top and sit level on the ground. And once again, repeat that process for all the gravestones you made. And since I wanted this to look good at night, I took it a step further and added a few spotlights. I just put one at each corner, and we already had one spotlight in the middle of the yard, kind of shining on our scarecrow that we put up a week ago. I use a red spotlight on one end and a green one on the other. And for some added spookiness, I hammered in some skeleton hands coming out of some of the graves. My wife found these at the Dollar Tree for like $1.25 a piece, so why not? And with that, I have a graveyard in my front yard. But let's see what it looks like all lit up at night. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully this video inspired you to make some spookiness of your own. Please be sure to check out the other videos that we've got queued up. And until then, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks everybody.